Hello and welcome to this tutorial. One of the things that is most dreaded when you're using an Excel template is encountering this error, the href error. Now this is a very huge challenge for Excel users and for Excel developers as well, because it can render your templates almost 100% efficient. Because once you develop the template and you send it to a user, a customer, there's no way they can avoid, no matter how careful they are, they can avoid encountering this href error. So we've tried our best to figure out how we can reduce it, if not stopping it entirely from happening. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing us some of the things we have done to try to reduce the occurrence of the of this error, particular type of error. And for most instances, when they occur, there's nothing the user will be able to do other than to send it to the developer to correct it. And that's something we want to reduce. We want to be able to, once we've shipped out our template to a user, we don't want this error to occur as much as it does presently. So what we should be asking is, how does it happen? So once we understand one of the things that makes them occur, maybe we may be able to arrest the problem. So one of the things that makes it happen is copying and pasting. All right, not just ordinary copy and pasting, the cutting and pasting. Okay, so when I try to cut this, Control X will cut. Let's say under say, okay, I'll try to cut this, Control X, right, and I paste it here. Right click and paste. Or I can just do the ordinary paste, Control V to paste. Now this is going to introduce an error, all right, in the next mark sheet, because what we've cut an area where the cells are dependent on that area. We have these cells here are dependent on that in the formulas in the other sheet. So that cutting and pasting gives it troubles Excel a lot, so it will result to an error cell. Okay, so this is something most times people do without knowing. They unknowingly cut and paste. Okay, as much as we've tried to reduce that from happening, it still occurs. Another way that it happens is by dragging and dropping, right? So I've disabled it in this particular template, so I won't be able to show us that. So dragging and dropping is also a way of introducing such errors. Another way is by copying and pasting from a different template into the main template. That we have also tried to disable. So most times when you're complaining that you can't copy from a different template or worksheet, Excel worksheet, into our checkmate template, is part of the reasons is because of this. It introduces errors easily. We've disabled the ability to copy from a different template into Excel, into our checkmate report template. Also, we've disabled the drag and drop. And drag and drop used to be on a normal Excel file. If I try to open an Excel file, I'll show us what drag and drop does quickly. So let's assume I have something typed here. So drag and drop is all about, once I put, you can see this it has changed to crosshairs, and I can now move these around, right? So that's dragging and dropping. So this also causes errors. So it's the same as cutting and pasting. Okay, so we've also eliminated that from happening. So another way we've tried to disable cutting ability to cut. So there are two ways you can cut. Is either pressing Control X on your keyboard, so that's the shortcut for cutting. We've disabled that. And also if you right click and cut, all right, that also is another way of cutting and pasting. All right, we've also disabled that in our new template which we've just released. So in this template, we've disabled the three easiest way that we've discovered that introduces those errors. All right, those href errors. So let's say, for instance, I go to my template. All right, so here if I right click to cut and I want to paste it somewhere else, it's going to disable the cut. All right, it's not going to work. You can't paste this. All right, we've disabled that. Okay, you can't also use the shortcut Control X after I've clicked on Control X on my keyboard, and that will not work. Okay, so as before, we have also disabled the drag and drop. You can see I can't get the crosshairs, so for me to be able to drag and drop. And of course, the third method, which is copying and pasting from a different template, which will not be allowed here. If I try to copy this template, say maybe I cut it from here and try to move it over here, I will not be able to get it to paste. All right, there's no paste option. Okay, so basically what we're trying to tell you is that the occurrence of those href errors has been largely reduced in our more recent templates, and of course we're going to inculcate it in our older templates as well. So that's one of the beauties you have, or you get to experience when you're working with this. The possibilities of you having those errors that require that you have to send your template back to us has been largely reduced. One of the other things I did get to show us at the last time is the introduction of temp broadsheet for the particular template. All right, for the particular sheet. So you can, as well as printing out the bulk, the session broadsheet, you can also print out or export the term broadsheet. All right. So if, for example, I want to generate the term broadsheet for this, I just select it from the drop down list, which is the last on the list. All right, and you click on execute. That should be able to execute and generate the, all right. So this should generate the term broadsheet for me, and if I'm able to go to that area, all right, so that's the broadsheet, and if I click on it to open, so that's the broadsheet for the term. All right, so these are part of the things you get to enjoy when you get this more recent report template we've just developed. Okay, and of course you can hide unused columns, right, to reduce your printing needs, paper needs. Okay, so basically that is what is involved. So we hope to hear from you about getting the template. See you some other time. Thank you for watching.